Well, Forrest Gump just kept going and going for, quote, no particular reason. But now we have a real-life Forrest Gump. I hope he's not offended by that characterization, because he has an actual honorable reason that he walked coast to coast. His name is Tommy Pasquale, and he just went from the Atlantic to the Pacific, 3,000 miles. It took him 143 days, and he said along the way he, quote, listened to country music, Bruce Springsteen classics, and the Cain podcast. He did it to raise money and awareness for the many homeless veterans in this country. Tommy Pasquale joins us now to tell us about it. So I think the entire country is wondering about your entertainment choices. Out there in the middle of the country, no one but Bruce Springsteen and Cain?
Right. I knew you'd like that. Yeah. Only the classics.
That's American icons, if you will.
Right.
Tommy, tell us, first of all, your inspiration to walk from the Atlantic to the Pacific.
Yeah, so it was a goal of mine for the past few years to do something special like this, and with that, I knew that I wanted to pair it with a really worthy charity, so I teamed up with the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans, trying to get these brave men and women who have served our country so valiantly off the streets. It just doesn't sit right with me that on any given night, 38,000 veterans go to sleep homeless in this country.
And you raised almost $100,000 so far. Many people watching right now can help contribute, I'm sure.
Correct.
How could they do that?
Yes, so you can do it two ways. One, you go directly to the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans website, donate directly there, and check out all the great work that they're doing. Or you could go straight to my Instagram, Tommy_walks_America, and in my bio, I have a link to a GoFundMe where you can donate there as well.
What a cause, what a purpose, different than Forrest Gump, to actually help America's homeless veterans. Now let's talk about the walk, 143 days. I want to ask you, I guess, the most open-ended question I can, but what was it like?
It was tough. It's definitely the toughest thing I've ever done, but I would say overall it was a great experience. I'm really happy I did it, and I can honestly say with a straight face, I'm very happy it's over as well.
What was the scariest moment?
There was a lot of scary moments. Just, living in a tent with the elements out there, hearing some coyotes in the distance and just the wind whipping against the tent. I thought, there was times where I thought I'd never see home again, but it made it through.
How's the body? How did you feel after walking for 3,000 miles in 143 days?
It was painful, but, like I always say to everyone who asks, I was hurting the whole way, but I wasn't injured. And as long as I'm hurting and not injured, I could still play through it.
Tommy and I feel like we know each other because he's listened to the Cain podcast, and I've said on numerous occasions I want to do something like what you've done here. I've wanted to canoe the Lewis and Clark path through the Missouri River or ride a cattle trail from Texas to Montana. But what you've just done, I think, is a bucket list check item for many, many people out there in America to walk this country, and you did it for a purpose to help other Americans. And I know that I, for one, I think most of America appreciates that about you, Tommy Pasquale. He's going to be on the Cain podcast this coming. We're going to go a little more into depth about what those nights, what those days were like, but we're proud of you and we really appreciate you being with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me on, Will.
All right.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel to catch our nightly opens, stories that are changing the world and changing your life. From Tucker Carlson Tonight.